Alabama. And guess what? I'm going to turn around and show you where we are today. Let me show you the people. Hi. Hello. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I apologize. I hit you.
Oh, no, you good.
Okay, I'm doing a lot. This is a wonderful opportunity. And instead of doing a regular show tonight, I promised you this. No, I don't have any glasses because we're inside. But we're here, and the bishop of the Ninth District is going to be one of the participants. And as you know, my family, Reverend Evelyn Sanders Swafford, her husband, presiding elder, we are here today to celebrate Thomas Women's Tribute Statue Commission, but we're also here to celebrate Bishop McKenzie being one of the speakers here. All right, so let me show you the program. I think you can see this. All right, here we go. This is the program. So in a minute, they're going to begin, and I'm just going to turn the camera on, and we're going to watch, and we're going to have a slice of life.
If you have an empty seat beside you, raise your hand. Anybody have an empty seat beside you, raise your hand. Representative Underwood.
I'll say it for the ladies.
Well, we appreciate that as well. Thank you. Anybody else?
Est-ce que j'ai vu le gouverneur? Est-ce que j'ai vu le gouverneur? Elle était là-bas, n'est-ce pas?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, what a beautiful day it is. And thank you so much for being a part of this day with us. We are honored that you've chosen to spend your time here. I'm going to ask, this day would not be possible without the work and of my friend Lamar Higgins. Even though I'm the oldest, he was always my big brother, telling me what to do or not to do. We're going to, at this point, ask my sister, Ms. Phyllis Jackson, if she would light the candle that will burn during the entire session, this in honor of Lamar and the work out as well as his legacy. Good morning again.
Good morning.
On behalf of the Women's Tribute State Commission and all who helped bring this vision to life, I want to thank each of you for being a part of this special moment in our state's history, either here in person or virtually. I am Tracy Morant Adams, and it is both an honor and a profound privilege to serve as Mistress of Ceremonies for today's historic occasion here at our Capitol. Today we gather to lift two legacies, Rosa Parks and Helen Keller, two women born in Alabama on the soil of this great state, with a grit and grace that changed the trajectory of not just our state, but our nation. When we chose to honor the best of who we are here in the state of Alabama, indeed, these two remarkable individuals came to mind. This day is made possible because of years of commitment from many leaders, allies, artists, and citizens who believe Alabama's story would be incomplete without these two women represented on these grounds. And it was through the legislative vision and appointment of the Women's Tribute State Commission established by our governor that this dream became a reality. Therefore, it is now my honor to begin our program by welcoming to the podium the 54th governor of the state of Alabama, the Honorable Kay Ivey.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
What a beautiful day in our state capital. And what a truly historical at that. Today we get to Today we gather to honor two remarkable Alabama women whose excuse me. Today we gather to honor two remarkable Alabama women whose courage, faith, and determination have changed not only our state, but the world. For the very first time, the grounds of our Capitol will now feature statues of women, and what finer examples could there be than Rosa Parks and Helen Keller? These are two Alabama daughters, both born in small towns, who faced extraordinary challenges and yet rose to shape history through quiet strength and unwavering conviction. Rosa Parks, a seamstress from Montgomery's simple act of defiance ignited a movement for justice and equality. Helen Keller, a young girl from Tuscaloosa, who broke through silence and darkness to give voice to millions around the world. Both women remind us that courage takes many forms. Sometimes it's loud and bold, and other times it's quiet and steadfast. But in every case, courage changes the course of history. And today these statues stand as symbols of that courage, testaments to what one person, especially one determined woman, can do to make the world a better place. I want to thank the members of the Alabama Women's Tribute Statue Commission, chaired by Representative Laura Hall, for their dedication, their dedicated work in bringing this vision to life. To the sculptors who so beautifully captured the spirit of these two women, thank you for lending your immense talent to this sacred project. And to all who have gathered here, may we leave this ceremony reminded that the same spirit that lived in Rosa Parks and Helen Keller still lives here in Alabama today. It lives in our classrooms, and in our churches, in our homes, and in the hearts of young girls and women across the state who are determined to make a difference. So as we unveil these statues, let us do more than salute them. Let us emulate them. Let us continue to build an Alabama where every woman, man, and child, regardless of their zip code, can rise, lead, and shine. May God continue to bless each of you in the great state of Alabama.
Thank you again so very much, Governor Ivey, for those inspiring words and for your steadfast leadership in helping make today possible. We now turn to two distinguished leaders who have worked tirelessly since 2019 to bring this vision to life. Please join me in welcoming State Senator Vivian Figures and Representative Laura Hall, who chairs the Women's Tribute State Commission, who will share now how we arrived at this moment and what this commission represents.
Good morning. This commission became a reality, as I stated earlier, due to the work and the engagement advocacy work of Lamar Higgins. Earlier, this process started with designating a day in the state of Alabama as the Rosa Parks Day. And so that bill was passed a few years before 2019, before we passed the bill to make sure we had women's statues on the ground. Because of that, during that process, there were many conversations that we had, and many people were involved in the conversations about what there were no women on the Capitol grounds. And the bill was introduced after much discussion with Lamar and many others, members of the AME Church, the day that we did the Rosa Parks Observation Day, or the Rosa Parks Day in the state of Alabama. That really pushed us to where we are today. So we are honored to be here today, and then the bill was introduced. I'll let Vivian Figures, Senator Figures, will talk to you about what that process was like and how it came to be the law for the state of Alabama. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to the Alabama Women's Tribute Statue Commission with my colleague here, the chair, Representative Hall. This day would not be without that. And to the late Lamar Higgins, I know you're looking down on this day with very much pride and a big, huge smile. That bill was introduced in the Senate. It was also introduced in the House. But as it would happen, the Senate bill passed first. You never can tell which one might pass first, depending on what's going on in the two houses. So my bill passed, making December the 1st the Rosa Parks Day. And I believe we had every senator signing on as a co-sponsor. And then, of course, it was unanimously passed. So we're very happy about that. You know, I just wanted to talk about this day. This is such a historical day for Alabama. For us to unveil first the first two women's statues, but those two women is an African American and a Caucasian Alabamian. And that just shows you how far we have come as a state. And I thank God for that. And I thank him for using me to work towards this end. We're gathered to unveil two statues honoring two extraordinary women who shaped our nation. We celebrate not only their immense courage, but also their lasting impact, which continues to inspire us to strive for a more just and equitable society. We know for sure that each one of them in their individual ways have proven that one person can make a difference, for they have left a legacy of strength and resilience for future generations. Helen Keller faced unimaginable challenges, losing her sight and hearing at a very early age. Yet, through her strength and determination, she achieved what seemed impossible, becoming a world-renowned author and activist. Her famous words, quote, "Never bend your head, always hold it high. Look the world straight in the face," reminds us of the power and resilience of self-respect in the face of any obstacle. She demonstrated that perceived limitations do not define our potential, and that even in silence, a voice can be a powerful force for good. Rosa Parks was a woman of quiet dignity, but immense courage. She refused to accept injustice. Her simple act of defiance on a bus right here in Montgomery sparked a movement that would change the world. For I know that I and so many others stand on her shoulders today. And I know that I would not be an African-American female in the Alabama State Senate without her defiance and not giving up her seat on that bus. She reminds us that every person has the power to make a difference, and that there's always something we can do to fight for what is right. I have a special connection with Rosa Parks. I was blessed to have met her many, many years ago. I had a struggle that morning because I was trying not to wake up my husband, Michael, at the time, and I ended up putting on a navy blue shoe and a black shoe. They were the same shoes, but I was determined I'm going to go to see Rosa Parks. And I met her, and it was just such a wonderful, wonderful feeling for me to have met her. And she was just the kindest woman one of the kindest women I have ever met. I also had a wee bit part in the movie, The Rosa Parks Story. She is also my sorority sister for Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And as I've already said, I had the opportunity to sponsor that bill with Representative Hall. While Rosa Parks and Helen Keller's lives and struggles were different, they both showed us the profound power of the human spirit to overcome adversity. They both proved that one person, armed with courage and conviction, can change the world. May these statues stand as a lasting tribute to their strength, their legacy, and their unwavering spirit. May we be inspired by their courage to hold our heads high and to always fight for a more just and free world for all of us. God bless you and thank you.
And the Rosa Parks Day, the Rosa Parks statues would not be possible without a number of people. Members of the Alabama legislature that are here, would you please stand? We would like to recognize the AME clergy members that are here. Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind.
Clergy.
Attorney Fred Gray. Here. Members of Rosa Parks family. Members of the Helen Keller family. We are also grateful for the support and the work of our hostesses from Valiant Cross Academy that are at St. Paul AME Church. And much of this work would not be possible if we had not had the wonderful support of Raymond James. Would everyone give him a big round of applause? Raymond was one of many people, but Raymond was the one that we had the closest contact with, and he tried to keep us on target and doing the work. So thank you, Raymond. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you again so very much, Senator Figures and Representative Hall, for your commitment and certainly your vision. And there is a large delegation who are members of Rosa Parks family, and you are right, Senator Figures, her sorority sisters, and I see many of them in the audience, and of course I am also a member of that great organization. It's now my pleasure to introduce a woman whose family name carries a legacy of hope, resilience, and humanity. Please welcome Ms. Keller Johnson Thompson, great-grand niece of Helen Keller. Ms. Thompson.
Have you met her?
Good morning and thank you.
Good morning.
Governor Abbey, members of the Alabama State Legislature, distinguished members of the Alabama Women's Tribute Statue Commission, and honored guests. What a wonderful day to be at the Alabama State Capitol to pay tribute to two extraordinary women. Their enduring legacies have not only shaped the course of history in their own era, but continue to inspire and uplift generations throughout our great state, our nation, and the world. On behalf of the family of Helen Keller, and with profound appreciation for the unwavering dedication and exemplary service of the Alabama Women's Tribute Statue Commission, I extend our sincerest thanks. Your steadfast commitment ensures that the remarkable lives and achievements of these illustrious women will forever illuminate the path for those who follow, serving as a beacon of hope, of courage, and inspiration for all. At the turn of the millennium, Time magazine recognized Helen Keller as one of the 100 most people to have lived during the 20th century. She was also the first woman to receive our nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Alabama has several important organizations that pursue her work daily. The Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, led by Dennis Gilliland. The Helen Keller Birthplace Foundation, led by Ms. Sue Pilkington. the Helen Keller Eye Research Foundation, led by Dr. Robert Morris, and the many Lions clubs that are represented throughout our state, and I see some Lions with us here today. Since 1994, I have visited schools in every county of Alabama and in 33 states across our nation, inspiring students to overcome their own obstacles while using Aunt Helen's life as an example. Drawing inspiration from her remarkable life, we have sought to empower young people to believe in their own potential and to persevere in the face of adversity. I am pleased to announce the recent establishment of the Helen Keller Education Foundation, founded by the Keller family, headquartered in Tuscumbia. This foundation is dedicated to teaching the lessons of Helen Keller, not only to children in Alabama, but to students across the nation and around the world. Through this initiative, we hope to ensure that her message of resilience, compassion, and determination continues to inspire future generations. I know how pleased Aunt Helen would be to be honored with the statue of her likeness at the Alabama State Capitol, and to be so honored alongside Miss Rosa Parks. Let us carry forward the torch lit by these two extraordinary women, ensuring their courage, vision, and compassion continue to guide us. May their stories remind us that no obstacle is insurmountable, and that each of us has the power to make a lasting difference. Together, let us honor their legacy by inspiring hope, fostering opportunity, and building a brighter future for all. As my Aunt Helen so beautifully reminded us, although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson, for that powerful reflection. Now we are blessed to hear from Bishop Julius Harrison McAllister, Jr., who will share a word on faith and legacy. Bishop.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the day that God has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. 70 years ago, December the 1st, 1955, Mrs. Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and in doing so, sparked a movement. It was a Thursday evening when a 42-year-old seamstress named Rosa Parks boarded a segregated bus right here in the city of Montgomery, Alabama. She was on her way home from work at the Montgomery Fair department store, about 5 miles from her apartment. It seemed like an ordinary day in a segregated world. At around 6 o'clock in the evening, tired from a long day's work, she boarded the bus for her return trip home. Mrs. Parks was a faithful churchgoer, a devoted member of St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church, where the Reverend Dr. Agnes Lover presently serves as the pastor right here in this city. She was humble, soft-spoken, steady and strong, a salt of the earth kind of person. But on that day, she refused to give up her seat. And because she refused, she was arrested. Her arrest would change the course of history. Her action ignited what would become known as the Montgomery Bus Boycott, one of the most significant and successful nonviolent protests in American history. For 381 days, the black citizens of Montgomery refused to ride the city buses. They walked to work, organized carpools, and stood together in a united front against segregation and injustice. Their perseverance paid off. On December 20th, 1956, after more than a year of sacrifice, the United States Supreme Court upheld a federal court's decision declaring bus segregation unconstitutional. The boycott ended in triumph, and the modern civil rights movement was born. It was a young pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, just 100 yards from where we stand today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who said of her, Mrs. Rosa Parks is one of the finest citizens of Montgomery. No one can doubt the height of her character, the depth of her Christian commitment, or the boundless reach of her integrity. Rosa Parks was a fine Christian woman, unassuming yet unwavering. Ms. Parks was a trailblazer and not a pathfinder. And because she refused to give up, she stood up for generations yet unborn. I had the privilege of meeting Ms. Rosa Parks in August of 1997 at the Michigan Annual Conference of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, hosted by Ebenezer AME Church in Detroit, Michigan, as a young cleric in ministry. She was dressed in her deaconess attire, graceful, dignified, and serene. I was awed of her stately presence, and I immediately knew I was gazing at history. So today, on the 20th anniversary of her death, we, the members of the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and all of humanity are grateful for that one single act of quiet courage that changed the way we see justice, equality, and freedom. And because of her faith and fortitude, the laws of transportation and the conscience of a nation were forever changed. And now, nearly 70 years later, we stand on these grounds to honor her legacy with a statue that will forever remind the world of her courage. Her contribution is beyond comprehension. Her witness is eternal. We thank those who deemed it not robbery to memorialize her in this way, so that all who pass the Alabama State Capitol will know Rosa Parks passed this way.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you so very much, Ms. Bishop McAllister, for that powerful historical reflection. Our next speaker is a lifelong champion of education and true servant leadership. Please welcome to the podium now, Dr. Jack Hawkins, Chancellor of Troy University.
Thank you so much. Representative Hall, Senator Figures, distinguished members of the platform party, and distinguished guests. I think one thing you realize the older you get in life is the most important thing in life, relationships. Not things, not a portfolio, but relationships. Representative Hall, thank you for the candle. Thank you for your comments about the late Lamar Higgins. If he was your older brother, he was my younger brother. I'm delighted to share this time with you. Talk about two of Alabama's most famous native daughters. It was Helen Keller who said the only thing worse than blindness is to have sight but no vision. I think the one thing that we can say about Ms. Keller and Ms. Parks, they were great visionaries. They could see a better life for all of us. But they did, as has been pointed out, they shared so many other things. Females, they overcame great odds, and we're so proud, too, that they were both Alabamians. Truly, one of the famous quotes in history was that the greatest privilege on earth is to have been born an American citizen. condition, America offers that opportunity to realize one's potential. I don't know that there are two better examples that we could have in mind than Rosa Parks and Helen Keller. Life is about experiences, bundles of experiences. All of us can reflect upon experiences that change our lives. I had the privilege to serve as president of the Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind beginning in 1979. That extended for 10 years. What a remarkable institution. What a remarkable experience that was, to be able to live out and see the philosophy of Miss Helen Keller. It was played out in reality as we focused on what she would encourage us to do, and that was to focus on the ability, not the disability. You know, too often in life, we don't look at the right dimension in order to realize our potential. Throughout those 10 years, I had the good fortune to be involved too with the American Foundation for the Blind, an organization that Ms. Keller worked for 42 years. And that organization continues to benefit from her influence. 1989, I'm delighted to see Senator Dial here today, who serves on the board. My wife and I were asked and we were privileged to go to Troy University, where we've been since. And we didn't forget the low incident disabilities when we arrived there. We've continued to be advocates, to do what we can to help those overcome great odds. Those with deafness and blindness, those who are often forgotten in the total world around us. We've been able to do things such as create the first and only deaf interpreter training program, rehab counseling program with a focus on low incident disability. One of the more notable things about which we're proud, though, is the establishment of the Helen Keller Lecture Series. Dr. Barb Morris was one of our speakers. The speakers have included some outstanding people. Heather Whitestone, the only deaf Miss America to accident, who unfortunately was an Alabamian as well. Eric Weinmeyer, who lost his sight, but not his vision at age 12. Eric went on to scale the 7 highest peaks in the world as a totally blind man. He overcame. His focus was on ability and not disability. Almost 30 years ago, I had the good fortune to meet Lamar Higgins. Lamar happened to be twice the SDA president, only the first African-American SBA president of Detroit. And again, elected not once, but twice. He was appointed to our Board of Trustees in 1996. And it was then that a broader perspective was embraced. And in fact, one of the great opportunities that I can remember in my lifetime was Lamar introducing us to Ms. Rosa Parks. And for several years, we worked with Ms. Parks as we planned, built, and opened the Rosa Parks Museum that captured the story that's been described here this morning, the bus boycott leading to the Civil Rights Movement. In 2000, on December the 1st, 2000, we opened the Rosa Parks Museum with Ms. Parks there, on the very site where she was arrested on December the 1st, 1955. And since the opening of that museum, we've seen several million people come and go and see that story, see it firsthand in a place where it happened. It was George Will who said, every statue is a story frozen in time, a nation's ideals made visible. I think the ideals of our great country, as flawed as some may think, would be wrapped up in the 2 stories that we're here to celebrate this morning, the 2 lives that literally changed the destiny of the world. It was Miss Parks, so I opened with a quote from Miss Helen Keller. I'd like to close with a quote from Miss Parks, who said, "You must never be fearful about doing what is right." I think what we're doing today is, this experience of ours is absolutely the right thing to do. May God bless the memory of both of those remarkable ladies.
Amen. You know what they're doing over there?
Thank you,
Put it hold in their hand.
words and insights.
See,
We now invite Annie Buttress to provide the introduction to the Helen Keller Memorial and share.
see, they're
her
talking with their
report.
hands. They're talking, putting the letters in their hands.
Good morning. I am Annie Cameron Buttress, and on behalf of the Alabama Women's Tribute Statue Commission, I am here to welcome you to the new Alabama State Capitol grounds. We would not be here without our friends who helped us so much, the Alabama Institute for Deaf and Blind, the Alabama Association for the Deaf, the Keller Family Foundation, and we have to give a shout out to Steve Murray at the Archives who helped us throughout. In addition to all of those partners, we all worked together for the last 6 years to make sure that we offered the people of Alabama the very best we could. I am here to give you a little background on the Helen Keller Monument. Helen Keller, a proud Alabamian, was brilliant, creative, and innovative. Her groundbreaking form of communication was developed here in Alabama. As students of all ages flow through the Capitol grounds, they will be warmly greeted by Helen Keller, whose open hands, heart, and mind invite all to learn alongside her. The stone and bronze statue, all 15,000 pounds of it, was wonderfully created by the artist Jay Warren. Captures Helen Keller's propensity, ability, and desire for human connection. The details from her brooch right at her neck, and the barrette to the beautiful hand gesture will really stun every single visitor. We are so excited to have the opportunity for all fourth graders to be featured and photographed alongside her. Another not to be missed element of the monument is the Helen Keller plaque. Visitors are invited to learn about Helen Keller's accomplishments, as the plaque features English and Braille, and also American Sign Language, fingerspelling, and the Braille alphabet. This plaque is one of the first in the country to showcase all three alphabets together on a state capitol grounds. We're very, very proud of this work. As noted, Helen Keller's accomplishments are so impressive, and the fact that President Lyndon Johnson awarded Helen Keller the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1964, saying, "An example of courage to all mankind," should help us all further appreciate what the Capitol grounds now offer to the entire world over. Helen Keller belonged to Alabama and the world. She successfully advocated for civil liberties and for the rights of workers, women, and those with disabilities. We are honored to welcome everyone today to begin your own communication with Helen Keller. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Annie. And now we turn our hearts to the memory of a woman whose quiet strength changed the course of our nation, and some would say the world. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Agnes M. Lover, who will offer the introduction to the Rosa Parks Memorial and share remarks on behalf of the commission.
Well, great morning.
Good morning.
Oh, well, great morning.
Great morning.
And to the established protocol. Rosa McCullough Parks, a daughter of the soil, Sweet home, Alabama. Yes, it was 70 years ago when Rosa Parks confronted the Jim Crow laws and social norms of her day. The very act of refusing to give up her seat not only birthed a movement, yes, I believe it was 382 days of the Montgomery bus boycott, but Rosa Parks, she became an icon, a universal symbol of how to fight against racial segregation and inequality in a nonviolent way. I believe it was Rosa Parks' devout faith in God that allowed her to sit December the 1st, 1955. It was her faith that gave her the unmitigated gall, the resolve, and the resilience to overcome the plethora of opposition that ensued. Therefore, her courage left a profound, indelible impression on the world. Yesterday marks the 20th anniversary of her death. And as her body laid in state, thousands of Alabamians came to St. Paul African Methodist Episcopal Church to utter words of gratitude. And now words of gratitude will continue as eyes lay witness to the 9 feet, 8-inch bronze statue on a 1,000-pound granite pedestal. Her raised foot taking a symbolic step, not a step on a bus, but a step that serves as a reminder that one determined, powerful step forward can change the course of history forever. The unveiling of Rosa McCullough Park statue on the Alabama State Capitol grounds, peering down Dexter Avenue, a few steps from Court Square, a few steps where human beings, ancestors of African American descent, were bartered. A few steps where mass meetings and lunch counter sit-ins, downtown boycotts, parsonage bombings, and even mass voter registrations took place. A few steps where Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, a few steps from her arrest. This statue serves as a reminder that her story will forever be an integral part of Sweet Home Alabama's story. So may this Rosa Parks statue inspire us to be a people of hope, a people of equity, a people of courage, a people of justice, but more importantly, a people of love.
Thank you so very much. That was a call to action, I would say. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Lover. So what an inspiring morning this has been, one filled with reflection, remembrance, and reverence for 2 extraordinary daughters of Alabama. We extend our deepest gratitude to all of today's speakers, to the Women's Tribute State Commission, the Honorable Governor convene to conclude in your ceremony. I invite everyone to see and so please allow those with disability and those needing accommodations to take those seats. Thank you once again for joining us for this moment in history, one that will stand quite literally as a lasting tribute to the spirit of courage, compassion, resilience, and possibility that defines the women we honor today. Thank you, and we'll see you at the underway.
All right, everyone, you were here, and I will get back in touch with you when we go outside. This is a slice of touch with you when we go outside. This is a slice of life, a slice of life.